Alrighty, so right now, where we're at with our boombox itself, we have all of the little special things. We did the speakers to it, we have the antenna, the knobs, the little slider, the little that thing, the back is done, and then the only thing we have to do is we have to import the side knob and the silver boxes themselves. So what we're going to go ahead doing, and if you actually did these little knobs in a different file, you can bring them in to with the same way that we're going to do this with the silver ones. We're going to go ahead and we're going to select our file, and then we're going to do merge. And now I need to make sure I have my silver box and slide knob. I put those in one file, and I'm going to open it. And then what it's going to do is going to add these objects to it. It's also going to add the planes that we want with that. So we have right here, and since I didn't name it, bad on me, is the side knob. The silver box, these planes are the extra planes, and we can get rid of those. I'm going to move my, not the silver box, I'm going to move my side knob, and I'm going to move it over to one side or the other, or sorry, the side with the antenna on it, and I'm going to move it up to right about there. Actually looks a good spot. And I'm going to start scaling this down. Alright, and then this really is about the size of this, the middle piece. So I'm going to go ahead and move it, scale it a little bit. Actually, if we can kind of figure out the scaling size of it. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to leave that there, but we're going to figure out the scaling size of the silver box. Alright, because this will be a little bit easier to figure out. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do that with making my boombox fruit a invisible. So then I'm going to turn the side knob, turn that off, the visibility, and then I'm just going to move this, and I'm going to add the invisibility material to it so that I can kind of figure out right about, that's about in the middle right there, where when I scale it down, about how big it needs to be. So that's, I would say, about 50% scaled down. That's for let's try this. We got my scale, and I think it would do 0.6. How it worked. Okay, so that didn't work. So we need to scale down a little bit more. Let's try 0.4 on all of these. Make sure you hit 0.4. 0.4. There we go. That looks almost the right size. Maybe a 0.35, 0.35, 0.35. Alright. Still a little bit too big. Let's try like 0.33. Oh, sorry, 0.33, 0.33, 0.33. Okay. So that's about the right size. Now I can use this scaling options for the side knob. I'll use 0.33. So since I built them in the same scene with the exact same references, I know that they're going to be the exact same size that I need to scale them down to. Alright, so I have 0.33. And this is going to be my object. I can even kind of scale it in the right spot. All right. So I have that. I'm going to get my side knob, and I'm going to do 0.33, tab 0.33, tab 0.33, enter. And if I now look at it with my boombox, that this should be relatively about the right size. Like I said, it's going to be a little bit the same width of, not going to be larger than this. So that's in, and just bring it out just a tiny bit. You can still see the little slider knob. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the visibility right here. I'm going to throw a invisibility on this thing, and I'm going to try to see if I can get the position. Maybe we have a side view with the, I think I have the side view with the actual thing on here, so we'll turn off the boombox visibility. Alright, and then we're just going to try to move it to right about the same position. There we go. So this is in the right spot. Deleted. And then I need to see where my boombox, and we can actually, now that that's in the right spot, we can go ahead and add it to the extras. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to have to readjust this part. Alright, so this needs to, and see if we can view the side of it. Turn off the boombox visibility. Bring this back a little bit so it's right about right there. That's fine, and we'll see how that looks. Turn this on itself, and that looks right about spot on. The only thing that we might want to do is bring it up a little bit so that it encompasses the the speaker part as well. And I could probably, at this point, I might have to make my speaker a little bit smaller. So let me go back to where it was. So it looks like I actually make my speakers. So where are my speakers? I have to bring them in a little bit because they are really close to that face. Alright, and then what I might do is, gosh, looks like I have to, let's work on compiling. Well, this needs to be pushed over quite a bit. Alright, so that now this is in the right spot. Alrighty, so what we are going to do here is we're going to take our speaker box, delete it. That looks like it's in the right spot. It feels good. We are going to go ahead and we are going to hide. We're going to hide the body right there. So now we just have our extras, so I can mess around with the tweeter and the speaker box, or sorry, the silver box and the speakers itself. So we have these. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to duplicate, Control C, Control V. The silver box, I'm going to throw it into a null, and I'm going to do a negative X on the null scale, so that now this box is on the other side. That's perfectly fine. We're going to take this out of that null, delete the null. That's fine, now it's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we need to delete the geometry that is cutting through here. So I think if we do, we'll take this left speaker out. We're gonna kind of do some testing here. Let's see if we can get it out with just a Boolean. So we'll take these two right here, throw them into a Boolean. Alright. And see if we can get... No, that's not what we want. Go... That could work. Okay, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to make a copy and paste this speaker box right there. So I have this speaker box that I'm going to add. This is going to be my final speaker box. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the speakers inside of a bowl with the speaker box, silver box. The silver box is going to be, and this is not the one that we have outside of it. The silver box is going to be the B in this particular one. And so if I turn this off, what I want is I want it to do subtract B. Okay, so that's what's going to happen is that it's going to subtract, make a cut right there where it's going to be at. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make editable. That's fine. So now this is a... Hold on. We're going to select our bool, and then we want to make sure that we do create single object. So that is one object. We're going to make the bool editable at that point in time. So now we have just one object. I'm going to rename this just speaker silver box. This is the new one. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my faces and I'm going to just delete these side faces right here. Alright. I'll just probably get a rectangle selection tool and just delete these. Alright. So now if I had this one visible, now you can see that they are going to be flush. I could probably combine these, or I don't think the bool is going to do anything. So what I might do is I might throw them into a connect just so that I can, so this will be left speaker silver box. Okay, so now that I have those done like that, we're going to go do the other side, and we're going to take these speakers out, throw them out of there, out of the extras, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste the silver box that we have right on this side. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other side where I had the bool and I had the speakers as the first child and the silver box as the other child. On the bool I did, and let me turn the visibility off here. So I did A subtract B, and then I did, what was it, create a single object turned on. Go ahead. Make editable. So now I have the speaker box as a single option. Go ahead and name that, rename this again. We'll do this as a speakers, and then I'm going to just delete this part that's right here. Selecting the faces there. We have this other speaker that we created right there, and I'm going to do the same thing with the connect. So I'm going to connect these right there, and I'm going to name it right speaker silver box. Alright, throw these two in there. There we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to connect those two, and it's going to be crazy. I'm going to throw these into it. and then I'm going to call it speaker, speaker silver box. So there's all that, and now what we're going to do is we're going to check out how it looks with the this object right here. What we see is we have some issues where the faces kind of cut out with these speakers, and what we need to do is let's see if we can get away with the bool on here and see if this will work for anything that we want it to do. Alrighty. Union. That's not what we want. So this will not work. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do some old school sculpting here. So I'm going to go ahead and make these speakers and silver box into the extras, and we're going to go ahead and expand this until I get to my boombox body. And I'm going to go ahead, and since this is down just a little bit, I'm going to get my edge mode, and I'm going to try to work the geometry so that it will, and I'm going to have to make some loops so that I can actually delete some faces inside here. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to select this bottom edge. I'm going to select on both sides this bottom edge, and then I'm just going to bring it down ever so slightly so it's inside that geometry. Alright, now I'm going to select the easiest thing, what we might want to do here would be to see where the speakers are. Yeah, but that's not how we want. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to continue selecting this geometry, but we're going to actually need to create a loop right here, knife, and we can actually we'll make a cut. Let's see if we can make a loop here. See if that'll work. This loop, we're gonna get the loop so that it's gonna be on this edge right here. Did that not work how I wanted to? It did not. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna cut some geometry with our line tool and make sure that we deselect that line. Knife tool. Okay. So what we could do, now that I think about it, okay, this is what we're going to do. Face mode, select these geometry right here. That is all the faces that are intersecting the speakers themselves. We'll do it on both sides too, so we can do it uniformly. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our extrude inner. We're going to extrude inner just a little bit. Okay, so since this part was pretty flat, there's not much depth to it, then what we can do at this point is that we can kind of work our geometry that we have right here I'll move it left and right, just so that the faces are going to be encompassing. Well, actually, doing those tweeters, so that worked out pretty good for us. Okay, so that these faces that we want to cut, I might have to go ahead and change it to lines mode, so I can kind of see what's going in, what's going inside. So I want to work this geometry so that the faces that we select to delete are going to be alright, so if we delete, see what I'm doing is I'm moving it around, so I want to have this face, it's still going to be visible. So what I'm showing you is that I want, if I select this face, I want to make sure, so I'm going to try to delete this face, but I want to make sure that the geometry is going to be around it inside the speakers themselves. So I could probably get away with selecting that geometry that I just created to delete it, and we'll select no, that one. But we'll wait a little bit. We're going to rework our geometry over here just so that we can get this working here. So that's that one. I might have to cut. Alright, so I might have to go ahead and cut some stuff out. Alright, there's that. There's that. So I might need some more geometry as far as, so we get our knife tool, we're going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'm going to get my, just kind of start creating cuts, because we don't have to worry about n-gons on the inside, because we're just going to be making cuts to delete out this geometry. Alright, so I'll go inside, and what I might do here is I'm going to go. Now I might need another cut right here. And see if I can cut it and bring it down. So I'm just trying to shape the geometry now so that, and I might need to bring one down here. So that's going to bring down that right there. Made a weird shape. Alright, so that one didn't work. But maybe if I cut it and I go down and I cut it, go down. Alright, so that's messing up our geometry a whole lot. So let's see how far I can go back. I believe I probably need to make additional geometry with these faces. So I probably need to bring them in with another inner extrude. Maybe, or I know what I'm going to do. Alright, so we're going to delete these faces here. Alright. That we have created. That are going to be the problem kids. Alright. And deleted. Just going to delete it. Then what I'm going to do here is I need to figure out, by shaping the geometry that I've left, what I need to have. And like this one, we need to probably cut again with an edge loop, knife loop right here. Is that not going to work? It's because the geometry is weird. Okay, so we're now with the loop. We're going to go with the line, and we're going to cut it right here where the issue is, and I'm going to cut it this way, and then I'm going to make a cut that's going to go down and connect to that. Okay, so deleted, and now I can get this verts right here. I can bring it down a little bit until that doesn't intersect anymore. Now if I look at the, turn off the speaker box visibility. So I have this cut right here, so what I might need to do is I need to get my knife tool out, and I just need to cut it up into this corner right there. That works. Okay, so we're going to be doing a lot of really crazy cuts like that, and I'll do real fast on the other side once I figure out what we need to do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring down these verts into the silver box, and we're just going to try to work our way. So we have that, and then what I might do is I might get my bridge tool, and with the line mode I'm going to bridge this so that is fine right there. I might get there is a vert inside here. Sorry if I can kind of spin around inside here. Alright, so where is that vert? Okay, so I'm inside. Now there is a vert always like really inside here. So this vert right here. Now I did move them down just a little bit. Now I could probably get away with that wasn't the one I wanted. Hey, let's look at our lines. There is this vert right here. So that is underneath where I had it. Now I might want to go ahead and push it around so that it kind of cuts open, it clears open that other spot. I'll bring this one down just a little bit. Let's look at cut into it a little bit, or some weird stuff is going on. Alright, so now we have this going on. Now we're going to continue on with reworking these verts up into these particular spots that we have already. I'm going to go ahead and bridge this tool right here with the lines. Line mode, there we go. So now that is fine right there. I'm going to get my verts out right here, and I'm going to try to move them around so that they fit into the right spot. Now to get this, I'm probably going to have to cut and bring it down a little bit as well. But we'll see how much we have to do with that. And now we are just taking this geometry that we created and just trying to make, just to hide the verts inside there. And as best we can. And now we're going gonna have to go ahead and probably where's this display lines? This vert right here. I wonder if I can bring it over all the way and see what that kind of makes with. So that works that, and then we just have to work that particular vert. Line. We take this one right here, bring it over a little bit down. So I need a little bit more geometry. And what I'm going to do here is actually I'm going to select this edge right here and get my extrude tool, click it. Oh. I'm going to click it to kind of bring it down a little bit, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this vert that I created. So if I go to the lines again, so that little vert that I created, I can bring this down a little bit so that it fills up that hole. And then I can use this vert right here and bring it over a little bit so that it's going to I have to play with it a little bit. Maybe I selected the wrong vert. Okay, so what we can try doing is try not to get any weird geometry with these ones. Then I might go ahead and take my knife tool out right here, click it right here, and then click it in right there so that I can at least then bring this up a little bit so that until it kind of gets a little weird, and then we might go the other way with this knife tool, click it right here, and kind of bring it in to this corner right there. And then just kind of bring it up a little bit, and so then it's hidden away. And why is there weird geometry going on right here? Maybe it's the angle. Let me turn off the silver box and see what's going on here. So I can probably select this edge here and dissolve it. Nope, that's not what that wouldn't work. It has to this probably has to do with the I wonder, let's try doing this. Let's try to bridge this to that after I deselect that edge. Alright, so we are going to bridge this here, and we'll see if this is going to fix this issue. Where is it? Where's the bridging? It's already did it. Did I already do that? Yeah, it looks like I already bridged that. Then we can select this edge and dissolve it. if I get the knife tool right here and work it up right here. Of course, I have to deselect that edge. Alright, so get our knife tool right up here and down there. There we go. So that might be a little bit ugly geometry, that's fine. Yada yada. So now we turn our speakers back on. I don't think I need this face. Alright, and then we just have to work on getting this vert correct so that it doesn't poke out. Okay, so that was a little bit fun. What we're going to do here is probably going to have a couple cuts here just so that we can have a little bit more shape to it. Try not to have all of the cuts go out of one particular spot, and just kind of bring them down. You know, just trying to make sure the geometry is coming down underneath the inside of it. And where's this? Bring this down inside of it as well. Now I do have, again, some weird geometry right here, and I did fix it last time. I could probably get away with, see if I weld these together. There we go. So I didn't need that extra cut over there. So I welded those together. Really nice cut, and then if I see if I render it, if it's going to look funky. Nope. So since I left all of my shaping on that side, and that actually, let's see if that's sticking through. I don't know if that's sticking through or not. Just double check. That could just be the line, kind of. That's probably a little bit close. So we might select this one, bring it down just a little bit, just keep it away from that edge so that it's not actually poking through. And now that works right there. And the nice thing too by cutting this out as well is that when I want to actually make a speaker, then I can just fill it in there right there. Alright, so again what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing on this side. But since we already know exactly what we're going to do, we are going to go ahead and do it. So we're just going to select these faces, we're going to delete them. I have this face right here, I'm going to delete it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my cut. We're going to work this way, get our lines out. We're going to make our cut right here. And then I'm going to just bring it into this corner right there. Alright, and then I'm going to take my verts from the bottom right here, and I'm going to bring them in a little bit. And then I'm going to bring it down a little bit. And I'm going to select the vert that's over here. That's connecting it, so it's a little bit weird to look at it. Right there. Alright. And bring it down. And then that way when I select my face right here, I just delete that. And then we might have to bring this vert down up here. There we go. And then let's see if we can get away with a little bit less geometry than the other one. But I don't know if that's possible at this moment. Alright, so there's that. Alrighty. That worked out pretty good. Except there's a little bit of a hole right here. Alright, nothing cuts through here. That's perfectly fine. Then let's go ahead and... Actually, I don't know if that's good. Well, let's try the bridge. The bridge doesn't work here, then we might have to. I can't remember what I did, what I did just a couple minutes ago with this particular part. All right, so the bridge worked. It's not cutting through. Awesome. We're going to take this vert up here, and now to keep this going, all I did was I just kind of, I'm only grabbing it by the arrows here, and I'm just bringing this stuff in. Looks like I have to bring it up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to bring this up. Alright. Bring this one up, and we're going to do that weird cut in the back. Alright, there we go. Up right there. And then we're going to get a bridge tool. Get this edge right there. Alright, there we go. That works pretty good. We'll have to do a couple cuts on the top and the bottom. Get our knife tool out. We're going to go start right about, so we can get away with it in the middle. See, alright, move this up a little bit. And then we can probably get away with less. This knife tool right here, and then to there. Take that, bring it up, and then we're going to get our knife tool, kind of get it a little bit in the middle, bring it in, move that vert that we have, bring it down, get another cut. Much better job on this side than I did on the other side. Alright, so there we go. With that, see if we can bring it over a little bit. No, down a little bit more. And then see if we can actually bring this one down. Bring this down a little bit. And maybe over a little bit. Down. Bring this down a little bit too. So I think that is it. So yeah, so we have that all cut out, and we have our boombox completed. So there we go. What is up here? See if that renders that weirdness. Kinda is, but I don't know what that is. Let's look at it on both sides. So it probably has to do with the speakers. Yeah, that's just the weirdness was just with the speakers. Okay, cool. So, like I said, this is it, and we'll go take a render of it real quick so we can kind of see how it looks. Pretty good. Those are some weird things with speakers. That's fine. Bam. Nice. Nice. All right, cool. That is it.